Hey guys! Oh, so we are here live at TPE 2023. I don't know why that sounds so good, but it does sound good, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it sounds great.
So I love saying that, like TPE 2023. It totally rolls off the tongue. So I am here with Cigar Warriors, who totally, gives back to all of our troops, and also, collects a lot of cigars, money, magazines, everything that sounds dirty but is not.
Right. Absolutely. We take cigar swag and we send it to the troops. We got magazines and cigars, coffee. We do coffee. Anything that's going to make that airman, that soldier, that Marine, that sailor make their life a little better while they're overseas, that's what we send them.
Now, you said you have coffee. Where's that coffee coming from? How did you get that?
Well, we get some donations from a lot of places, but the main one is Janus Coffee, which is a online coffee boutique roaster. Okay, you can go on and order the Cigars for Warriors coffee, and every bag you buy and enjoy great coffee, they send us a bag to put in our boxes to send to the soldiers.
Aw, that's so nice of them. All right, so what started this organization, and what is it that you guys do on a regular basis?
So Cigars for Warriors started in 2012. It was a group of individuals that had seen people trying to do this process, right? I'm going to try to pull together cigars, send them to people stationed in Iraq and, overseas and all these places. And then what came out of it was not any of them were an official charity. So our original founders, this group of 12 individuals, decided they would get together and actually set up a 501c3 charity,
nice.
A real charity, to do this mission. So we are the only charity that does this mission. And, as a group of people, they all got together and went, oh, yeah, if we could send 200 cigars, wouldn't it be cool? We shipped over 20,000, I think, the first year. So in our now 11th year, because last year was our 10th anniversary, in our 11th year, by about we will break the threshold of 1.4 million cigars sent overseas.
Whoa! So wait, you said how many years is that taken?
It's taken just under 13.
Jeez. And that's incredible. Have you worked for the company the entire time?
No, I started volunteering in 2013, a year after it came into existence. And I did it with my cigar club in Houston. We put on an annual event, which we still do every year. And this coming year will be the 10th year we've done it. And I did the volunteering, got more involved in the charity, and actually didn't join the board of directors until 2017. But I've been volunteering for every year but the first year.
Well, that is awesome. Yeah, I'm actually familiar with one of the charities, or not one of the charities, but one of the events that you did do in Texas. Storm is the one that does a lot of those. Is that right?
Yeah, he's still the chairman. He's one of our. We have two original founders still on the board. Storm is the chairman of the organization, chairman of the board. So he goes to a lot of the events. People know him because he's the guy with the cool beard and the cane, right? Yeah, he's still doing them. He tries to get around as much as he can. But we've grown so large that this is more than a little niche charity, right? This is now us being a real charity doing real work. And, you just can't do it all. So we built a wonderful group of volunteers that help us around the country. So sometimes you'll get to see them at a festival. Sometimes you, unfortunately, get stuck with me or somebody else. And then worse yet, if John shows up, we're all in trouble.
But he has a nice beard.
Well, thank you.
I mean, you can't miss him. It's like that guy with the beard, and of course, you got the patches that, say Cigar Warriors on them, so we can definitely pick you out, so it works out well.
Well, I'm kind of like the de facto Storm.
Oh, my Lord. So, well, tell us, what do you do on a daily basis to help this? You're still volunteering?
Everybody's a volunteer.
Wow.
Nobody makes a salary at our charity. It's a 100% volunteer run. But, in fact, the joke usually is for me and Storm, when we sign up a new volunteer, we tell them we're going to double our salary for you.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, because 2 times 0 is still 0, so it really works out. But, on a daily basis, what we're doing is our partners in cigars or, liquor stores that have cigars or whoever, they collect. They're called donation centers. So if you walk in, you buy an extra cigar, you put it in the box. They get a month's worth, they get a full box worth. They send it to us. And then our teams We have one outlet in Florida, one in New Jersey. They box them up and send the actual boxes to the soldiers. Because what happens is a service person is going to go online, they're going to request the cigars, and then as long as they are stationed in an area we serve, like if you sent me your request and you're stationed in San Diego, I'm not sending you cigars. You can walk down the street and get one. But if you are a Marine and you're stuck at the helicopter base in Djibouti, Africa, you would qualify. If you're a sailor and you're out on a float for 3 months on a boat, you qualify. We're going to send you stuff because you are protecting our freedom, doing wonderful work, but you're not where you can go relax and do your normal things you do at home. And that's what we try to do, give them a bit of relaxation, a bit of home when they're stationed where they're stationed.
Absolutely. So let me ask you another question. Do you guys also send lighters and cutters and things like that?
Yeah, any kind of swag we get, we send. In fact, that's what's fun about shows like here at TPE.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of guys will have their little plastic cutters with their logo on it,
Yeah.
and they don't want to ship them back home. So they'll come to us and go, hey, put these in the boxes. And so we'll leave here with a bunch of donations, swag or different things that can go. And lighters are the same. Here we just make sure it's drained, it has no fluid in it. But yeah, any things like that, we get donations all the time. And you know, you think about it, I'm going to send you cigars. You're stuck in Iraq. You may not have a cutter, you may not have a lighter. So
Right.
putting those in it is wonderful. And we do get a lot of those.
Now, first of all, you just said Vajiti. Is that what it is? Like that's a pretty funny name. And that was the first place that you came up with to say that.
Well, I like saying Djibouti, Africa, because
I think I do too.
it is such a faraway place that when I tell people we send it to service members that are in places you don't want to be, Djibouti's probably one of the first ones. Because my buddy was actually the base commander for air ops for the helicopter base there as a Marine colonel.
Okay.
And he laughed when I told him we send stuff. He goes, oh, yeah, because there's literally nothing to do in Djibouti.
Oh, my God. That's awesome. So on a daily basis, I mean, do you have a regular job or are you retired and you're just volunteering?
No, all of us have our own jobs. I actually run a consulting company that does imports, exports, international logistics. So I do that, and it makes me a good enough living to where I can do this stuff, volunteer. Because, like, we all pay our way to get here. This is the charity,
Wow.
like, wonderful thing. Shout out to TPE. They give food, right? They donate because they believe, a free food, but everybody pays their own way to come out here. I'll volunteer. We take vacation days to be here because we all have regular jobs.
All right. So then what the heck do you do?
What kind of work do I do, Mel? Well, to be honest, I'm a pain in the ass for my wife.
Who is she standing right in front of us, though, if you guys don't know? She's listening to this. So I guess you can't get in trouble for that, huh?
Maybe. But no, to be honest, I actually run a warehouse for the.
You don't remember this?
For the Bureau of Land Management. So I'm a federal worker. So.
All right. Well, thank you for your service too, I guess. Right? That's awesome. So, how is it that people can actually donate in case you're not running a fundraiser or you're not doing anything? Can they actually just donate at any time?
Yeah, absolutely. If you go to our website, cigarsforwarriors.org, you'll get the address to send cigars if you want to just send us in donations. We have set up for cash donations. We pay the thing of every box that goes to service.
Wow.
The thing I tell everybody, as a charity, we're rated platinum by GuideStar, basically one of the charity systems that's out there. And less than 0.25% of all charities make platinum. But the reason is like I said, we're all volunteers. We don't have a CEO that makes $200,000 a year. Every dollar you give us, probably 70% of that dollar is used to pay for shipping cigars.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, let me ask you another question. What is the best story that you have when it comes to what you've experienced with Cigar Warriors?
I've got a great one.
Okay, I'm going to let you hold the microphone and talk to you.
So I was doing an event at it's a place called Bo's Cigar Lounge. It's in Bellflower, California. If you don't know where that is, it's L.A. But when you say it, people from Bellflower yell at you and go, I don't live in L.A. But anyway. So they were doing a multi-vendor event, and gracious, like most of these guys do, they let me set up a table. We have our stuff. We're collecting donations. And as I'm standing there, this young man's walking in with his dad. And he's of legal age, so if anybody's, no, he's 21, legal age. But he walks in with his dad. And he grabs his dad's arm and he goes, Dad, 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 Dad. That's the guy that sent me cigars while I was overseas. And he immediately comes over to the table and, you know, I'm talking to his son. His son's telling me all the story. Yeah, you know, our group, we used to try to, you know, every one of us would try to get a box in every so often so we could have our cigar nights and share the cigars. And he told me, young man told me, greatest thing that ever happened to me over there because it gave us all a chance to relax. And he was truly a combat veteran. This is when we were still doing stuff in Afghanistan, and he had been not just a support person, he'd been out in the field.
Okay.
And when he walked off, his dad looked at me, and I noticed his dad had tears in his eyes. And his dad said, do you realize how much that meant to him? And I go, well, that's what we do. This is the whole mission of what we do. His dad, and we're macho men, we all smoke cigars, walks around the table, gives me a hug while he's crying, and says, what do you need? And I said, well, we do cash donations, whatever. The dad wrote us a check for a cash donation, and at that same event, they were going to have me come up and talk about Cigars for Warriors. Well, I told the kid, I said, if you're comfortable, I want you to go tell him the story. So the kid went up and told the story instead of me being up there, and I had probably 12 boxes show up after he spoke because everybody all of a sudden went, that is a specific connection to what this charity does.
Wow.
That's my favorite story. And I've told it so much I don't get the tear in my eye, but I'm man enough to admit I had a tear in my eye talking to his dad because you could see what it meant to the young man, and you could see what it meant to his parents to have somebody support him that way.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. So that's awesome. And so what else is it that maybe what's something that's very random that you sent some of these warriors? How do you find out where they are? Because I feel like I'm not even sure, you know, what's the addresses and all. How's the logistics work?
So they send us their APO address and their request.
Okay.
And we can validate where that is.
Oh, nice.
And we validate that it's really a U.S. service person. And we validate that it's not an address in, you know, San Diego, right? We know where it's at. And so that's what we validate, and then that's how we know we're sending it to somebody. But we don't ask for a lot of things like, hey, you know, we're only going to give the sergeant, so you can, we don't care. I don't care who you are, what rank you are, you request, and you all get treated the same.
Wow. Equal opportunity for all soldiers.
Absolutely. And I still think the most random thing is when we did our 1 millionth cigar, one of the manufacturers here gave us a very special cigar. And we labeled that as the 1 millionth cigar. Well, the thing we put in was a little flyer that said, hey, this is the 1 millionth cigar, right? And said, just, you know, send us pictures because we want to get pictures of the 1 millionth cigar. The gentleman that we sent the box to sends us an email and goes, I can't send you pictures. And we go, huh? He goes, no, I can't even tell you where I'm at, what I'm doing. And we laugh because we go, sure, the 1 millionth cigar goes to the guy that's in a special, you know, special unit that he can't tell us. Now, after he got home, he was able to send us the pictures and tell it, you know, thank us, you all.
Yeah.
But that's probably the most random thing we've ever had happen.
Wow, that's fantastic. So let me ask this guy, you got a great story for us?
Oh, geez.
You got to hold the microphone.
A great story for Cigars for Warriors. It was actually about 5 years ago at this event, TPE. Storm was here with us. Storm talked to, Cheech and Chong guy. Yeah,
Tommy Chong.
Tommy Chong, that's what it was. Tommy Chong. And Tommy Chong had been partaking in a few extracurriculars. And Tommy Chong was talking to Storm's cane as if it was a normal person. The odd part is Storm's cane has a head of a chicken on the top of it. So watching Tommy Chong and this stick, have a conversation for 20 minutes was absolutely killer.
What did he talk about?
You don't want to know.
Okay.
You don't want to know what he talked about. It was totally random stuff like, why is the clouds purple and other random things. It was fun and comical at the same time.
Well, that sounds hilarious and quite entertaining. And I think that you guys should probably, next time you meet that guy, you should put him on the air. You know?
Absolutely.
Yes. So what is one of your favorite things that you enjoy about volunteering for Cigars for Warriors? Is there a certain job or a certain, operations that you actually do that you really, really enjoy?
Probably the cigar festivals, because we get to meet so many consumers, and being a businessman, these trade shows that we go to are also fun for me, which everybody tries to figure out how insane I must be. But it's business, because I handle a lot of the business-to-business things and talk to other, the manufacturers. But I enjoy that, actually. That's fun for me.
And you?
For me, the best part, and this happens every moment that we do something, is, as you can see, Marine on my head, is giving back to our service members. That brings us great joy every time.
I bet. So, all right, final question. What is one of your favorite cigars to smoke? And do you often look at the cigars that you're getting and maybe want to take some of them home for yourself?
You know what? That's actually a very good question, because we get asked that a lot. And when I say we're an official 501c3 charity, what everybody needs to understand is, even if you gave me a box of Opus X's, right?
Yeah.
I legally cannot touch them for personal use.
Okay.
Because that's just like you gave me $500 to the charity, and that's like me going, well, I'll take a commission. No. It's not legal. So, but to answer, oh, hell yeah. I'll look in there and go, damn, I like that one. But again, legally, we're not allowed, so we don't. But yeah, no, absolutely. And probably one of my favorite cigars to smoke is, you'll get a kick out of this one. I volunteer for CRA.
Okay, yes.
And
CRA.
one year, I was named Ambassador of the Year.
Okay.
And Carlito was nice enough as a board member to present me with the award at the PC, it wasn't called PCA back then, but whatever, at that trade show. And Carlito looked at me and he goes, hey, I want to give you a cigar. And he goes, what do you like? And I told him, I said, man, you're going to laugh at me. He goes, no, I won't. I said, one of my all-time favorite cigars that I will always gravitate to and smoke is a short story.
Oh,
And he looks at me and he goes, I just offered to give you a cigar. Carlito's funny, right?
Yeah.
He goes, I just offered to give you a cigar. Everybody asked me for an Opus or something crazy. I go, to be honest, I'm not I like them, but that,
They don't always have that Cameroon wrapper on it.
Right. For me, I would rather have a short story. So I laughed. I followed him back to the booth. He gave me a handful of, short stories and laughed and said, that's really because you didn't try to just hammer the house. I go, well, no, you asked what I like. I just told you this is what I like. The short story's still up there, and, it's a fallback cigar. Anytime I walk into any shop, I'll grab one of those. If they don't have something else I'm in the mood for.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Well, I mean, it is bread and butter for them, too.
Oh, yeah.
That is definitely how they started out. What's your favorite?
My favorite cigar, Mel, is actually the short story.
The one that you smoke with me?
Yes. Or a free cigar. But no, actually, short story is my favorite cigar.
That is awesome. Well, that is their bread and butter, so I love to hear that. But yeah, you're right. I did get a kick out of that. I love it. Fantastic. Well, guys, okay, maybe one more last question. How phenomenal is this TPE 2023 this year? Have you guys seen a difference in the way that it's been in the past years?
I think we've seen a little bit more traffic in the stores we're trying to expand to, right?
Okay.
Cigar shops, we see them at the other trade shows and stuff like that, and here. But getting to meet some of these folks at stores or retail outlets where they still sell cigars and are interested in supporting the charity, that's been amazing. And we've seen a lot more of those types of shops come by the booth so far.
Nice. Well, I love to hear that. Well, you guys, I appreciate your time that you have spent with us, and we truly appreciate all that you do for the cigar industry, plus our warriors that are over across seas and definitely fighting for our rights And obviously, you're part of the Cigar Rights of America too. So if you guys don't know, join Cigar Rights of America. You can go to cigarrights.org and you can definitely sign up. I think it costs I think it's free. No, it's a $35 membership fee. So it does not cost you much, but it's going to save your butt when it comes to smoking cigars, right?
Absolutely.
I love it. Well, thank you so much. And you guys want to leave us with anything last minute?
Cigarsforwarriors.org. If you're interested in finding out more, go to the website, and it tells you how to donate, but also you can see really cool pictures of the servicemen and women smoking cigars.
Oh, that's so sweet. You got anything?
Have a great time and smoke cigars and have
Well, you guys, we are live here from Las Vegas at TPE 2023, and I am here at the Fuente booth. So if you are around, please come by and say hi, and also have a great day, and I will be back with some more interviews. So please stay tuned and have a nice day.